Welcome to this breathe class that is now today done in the middle of the day. And I hope you use this practice in the middle of the day, because this is planned as a break when you're working, and usually in the afternoons there is this kind of afternoon dip. And actually, instead of taking coffee or something sweet, breath can be the way to go, an easily accessible tool to kind of boost concentration as well as calm the body mind down. And our digestion needs to rewind, to calm down, to produce this relaxation response in order to function properly. So this is also a practice that will help with that. I'm doing this on a chair. It is possible to do it on a sitting down on a mat, for example, no problem. Just maybe, if possible, do this on seated, the whole practice. At the end, we'll do a short body scan. So if you want, you can go lying down if you're in the home office or doing this your yoga mat nearby. But yes, my name is Sanni, and I welcome you to this practice. I'm not able to hear you in the live sending during the class, so I will unmute everyone who participate. If you're watching the recording, you don't have to care about that. Let's start. First, we'll do a couple of warm-ups. So I usually love starting warm-ups with lengthening the side body, because this is the movement pattern that we very rarely do in the middle of the day. So lengthening the side body and going a little bit sideways, even kind of climbing with your hands, reaching high up. You can continue reaching high up and pulling it down. Reaching high up, pulling down. You can even look up. And if it comes naturally to you to combine the movement with breath, feel free to do so. But the most importantly, keep the breath flowing, natural. When we're opening the ribs, the lower ribs especially, the ones that kind of have the capacity to really be the powerhouse of our breathing. So we're especially affecting those ribs and those lower ribs. Very good. A couple of more times. And then you can finish. Shake off the shoulders a little bit. And continue with some twists. So if you're seated, as I recommended this practice to be done, you can take hold of the backside of the chair when you twist. But at this point, not holding the twist too long. So just maybe going there, not pushing at all too much. We're warming up the breathing muscles and all the necessary body parts and functions that we engage in when we breathe. So softening, loosening up. You can continue with this quite dynamic twists for a moment. And then if you like and it feels good, you can stay in one side. Again, here, just go as far as it feels comfortable. So we don't want to create any spasms. This is a softening practice, a loosening up practice. And then switch sides. Breathing naturally, maybe relaxing the shoulders a little bit more consciously. And remember that you don't need to turn your head really far. You can leave it quite neutral so that you don't need to twist um, with the neck. And come back to the center. A couple of more warm-up movements. Continue with cat and cow. So again, we're in the spinal area. We're in the area that gets a little bit stiff during the day. So your own cat and cow, no right or wrong, just go with the flow. And from time to time, you can already become aware of your breath, how the breath flows, how does it connect to the movement, if it does. It absolutely is fine if the breath is just as natural as it can be. And good. Come back to center. Loosen up the shoulders. And we'll do one more warm-up practice. This is especially dedicated for our shoulders, because when we are stressed, we start using the auxiliary breathing muscles, the secondary breathing muscles. So we want to make sure that our shoulders are down. So you can keep the other hand normally and just hold the other hand from the back side of the body and touch or hold the other arm. And then the one hand that is holding, you can turn the head to the side, let the ear drop towards the shoulder so that we're really opening up the one side where the arm is bent and where the hand is holding the other arm. And if it's not available for you to hold the arm, you can just put the arm where it comes naturally and still use the opening up to open up the neck and the side neck. And if it feels good, you can move your chin a little bit up and down, finding the sweet spot. Usually this stretch feels pretty powerful. And then switching, bringing the head back to the center and switching the position of the arms. Sorry, this. And opening up the other side. And especially kind of being aware that the shoulder goes down and you're opening that side. So you're not creating more tension. You're trying to let it really relax. Opening the side. And if it feels comfortable, you can bring the chin up and down, finding a spot that's feeling good and natural. And then coming back to center. Shake your shoulders maybe a bit. And then we'll go to the breathing part of this short class. If it feels comfortable, you can close the eyes, sitting your spine quite straight, maybe the hands resting on your thighs or knees. And if you have a chair that allows you to bring the soles of the feet on the mat, on the floor, just let them be there firmly. But you can also sit on the mat, and then, of course, the straightness of the spine comes from the nice relaxed position of the knees. And start observing your breath. Without more instructions, just for a second, observe the breath and notice what you notice. Where is the breath? Is it up in the chest, middle in the chest, or very low in the body? Which one is longer, inhalation or exhalation? Is the breath rhythmic or sporadic? And I know it's difficult, but allow it to be how it is without any need to change it, make it better or anything. Everything is as it is. And then you can take your hands as a help in observing. So first you can bring your palms on your shoulders and breathe naturally, still observing how the breath feels in the body, what it feels like to breathe. Now you have your hands there. They will be your helper to observe and notice how the breath moves the body, what's there. Maybe you notice that the breath moves the whole body, even the shoulders, even when the breath is completely calm, the whole body is moving. Then bring your hands on your lower ribs and hold your lower ribs like you're holding an eggshell, or a kind of eggshell is maybe the best. So you're holding it gently but firmly. And you can kind of push your lower ribs a little bit from side to side and observe if there is any movement from the side to side, or if one side moves more. And then staying put and observing the breath for a few breath cycles there. How does the breath move the ribs? Maybe you notice a movement that is expanding in all directions with inhalation. And coming back towards the center with exhalation. The breath is flowing through the nose if that's possible. And move the hands a little bit further down to the sides of the body and notice the breath there. Relaxing the shoulders, being low and back, so that you're not really using your muscles to hold the arms there. Let the breath move the whole body and just be there, one with it. Good. And then you can lower the arms, maybe shake the upper body. And take a couple of nice natural inhalations and maybe make a sound with exhalation. And if possible, make that sound so that your mouth is still closed. So just breathing through the nose. Natural inhalation and exhalation with a sound. It can also be a ah sound or whatever comes. If you're at home and not around people, feel free to use any kind of sound. Good. And after a couple of breaths, you can just breathe naturally, normally, in a way that is available for you. But the only thing that you try to do is try to breathe through the nose. Everything else comes with time and naturally when we proceed in the breathing practice. Then we'll do one a little bit energizing breathing practice. This is from the yogic breathing Kapalabhati. And it goes like this. With exhalation, you make a crunch with your abdominal muscles like this. So as you see, nothing else moves except my belly. So the belly button goes against the spine with exhalation, and you just let the breath exhalation come, flow out through the nose quite forcefully. We'll do about 20-30 pumpings. So these crunches I call pumpings. So you can actually do at your own pace, being aware that your shoulders stay relaxed and put. And the sensation can be that you have a feather or something at the tip of the nose and you're trying to blow it away, but without your facial muscle tension. So let's try about 20-30 pumpings. And then you can just release, let go and exhale. Breathe naturally, and no worries if the pumpings felt difficult or you were not content with your performance. This is not a performance. You just try the practices, try them out, and then let it go. We'll finish the Kapalabhati practice with a little bit of breath holding. So after the next inhalation, you can just pause the breath at the top of the inhalation. And having the idea that you're just pausing the breath. You're not trying, you're trying even less than when you're breathing. And when you feel any kind of pressure in the body, just let the exhalation flow out. breathing naturally, normally. And you can repeat if you like. After inhalation, quite naturally, just pause the breath. And when you feel that you start trying to hold the breath, just let the exhalation flow out. And after the pause, after you have let it out, just let the breath be natural. Maybe putting a tiny thought there that you're lengthening the exhalation with the same kind of attitude. You're not really doing it, you're allowing it, you're enabling it, the exhalation to lengthen. You're allowing the pause after exhalation to take place, to happen. Everything comes naturally when we practice breathing. And then I'll introduce to you the last practice of today. We're going to do a part of alternate nostril breathing, but not the whole practice. So I explain first. So we're going to breathe through our nostrils and altering the nostrils. And you can use a mudra, a hand position where you use the right thumb to close the right nostril and the right ring finger to close the left nostril. And first we're going to do so that we are exhaling with both nostrils and we're just inhaling through one nostril. So the practice goes like this, starting with exhaling through both nostrils, then closing the right, inhaling left. Then we exhale through both nostrils and then close the left, inhale right. Exhaling through both nostrils. Closing right, inhaling left. And exhaling through both nostrils. So you got the idea. You can start at your own and doing at your own pace, keeping the breath quite smooth, maybe even length, so not really trying to change the breath that much, but making sure that the exhalation is calm, so you are not exhaling like and then inhaling again. So keeping the breaths nice and calm, and that should no worries. That should calm the nervous system down even more. So inhaling through one nostril, exhaling through both. Inhaling one, exhaling both. And you can keep the arm up whole time. You don't need to put it down. Just continue for a while more. And then you can let the arm come down, preferably after you have inhaled through right nostril and exhaled through both. And then you can finish the practice. And still keeping the eyes closed if that's possible, if that feels good, if that feels natural. Breathing naturally, calmly. Maybe you notice how the short practice has already calmed down the breathing function, the nervous system. And adding just a tiny idea of lengthening the exhalation. So that it is possible for you to leave the practice even more relaxed with lengthening exhalation. Naturally, and just having the intention of allowing that to happen. And let the facial muscles relax. The mouth, the jaw, the tongue naturally at its own place. Relax the shoulders, diaphragm, ribs and belly. Relax the back, buttocks. Sense the thighs, knees, calves and shins relaxing. Relax the feet, toes, the whole body. Once more, bringing your attention on how the breath is moving, where the breath is moving. How does the breath move the body? Becoming aware of this movement, noticing it, walking with it, continuing to your daily habits and everything with this sensation of how the breath is moving you. And feel free to stay in relaxation if you like. Maybe sitting for a while more, while longer, or lowering yourself down in Shavasana on the mat. I hope you enjoyed the practice and you feel maybe a little bit more alert, maybe a little bit more regulated, and your day will be wonderful. Tusen tack.